All right. Got to get into that.
What's going on, guys? Gotta get that YouTube intro though.
What is going on, guys? Fucking hate you.
Keep this in just for a blooper.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Nick's Picks, week 1 of the second season of doing this. And I am back once again for the second year in a row with Ben. Ben, how you doing?
Can't believe you still thought to bring me back. I know we're friends and all, but some of my takes last year.
You know what? I gotta make fun of somebody, and Falcons fans are like one of the easier ones to make fun of. So
How's Barkley's knee, by the way? Exactly. No, stay in your lane. Oh wait, sorry. Let's just play Daniel Jones running for a touchdown against the Eagles. Oh wait, sorry.
I would play that clip, but it got copyrighted from me last year. So. Nick's Picks is going to be a little different this season. We aren't going to go through every single pick. However, we are picking every single game. We're just going to flash all the other picks on the screen at the end. But we are only going to go through 4 major games each game or each week. The first game that we will be predicting is our game of the week. So I'll have a game of the week, and Ben will have a game of the week, and we will pick that game. We will each also have an upset pick, what we think is going to be our upset of the week. We will each pick our favorite team. So I'll pick the Giants game every week. He'll pick the Falcons game every week, and one wild card, meaning any game that just interests us that we wanted to talk about through the episode. And then, like I said, all the other picks will be displayed at the end of the games that we didn't pick. We will also have the 2-point conversion again this year. It'll be just the same as last year, where we probably do something like yards or touchdowns or how much a team wins by, something along those lines where it's a bold prediction worth 2 points onto the final score. All the points will add up at the end of the season, including the preseason picks, where if you missed that episode, please go check that out. But all of the points will add up together at the end of the season, and the winner will do something that we haven't determined yet. We'll come up with a bet. I'm going to say by at least week 4, but don't hold me to that because it probably won't happen. We start with the game of the week, and my game of the week is the Arizona Cardinals going up against the Tennessee Titans in a game where these are two teams that could definitely be in the playoffs at the end of the season. I do think that with Arizona, it's a little bit iffier because of their division. They have to go with the Rams, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. But when it comes to the Titans, I think they pretty much have their division on lock. They've added Julio Jones this season, which is huge. We have the president of the I Miss Julio Jones fan club in the chat with us today. And
do I get my Julio jersey, or do I just just stay in suffering at this point? Because it's in my closet. I just look. I'm like, I will remember.
But it's Julio Jones versus DeAndre Hopkins. It's Derrick Henry going up against this Kyler Murray-led offense. So I do think this is going to be a great game. I think this is going to be one of those games that comes down to the fourth quarter, and one of those games that comes down to who manages to basically have the ball last, because I think these are two high-powered offenses. The Cardinals have the better defenses, which is why I give them the edge. I give them the edge 32-30 over the Tennessee Titans, and it's strictly because of their defense. I think it's going to come down to one major defensive stop at the end of the game, and if one of the two defenses is going to get a stop, I think it's going to be Arizona. So Arizona 32-30 over the Titans. That's my game of the week, what I'll be watching. Not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Dallas Cowboys that you'll all be watching tonight. It's the Cardinals and the Titans. That's my game of the week.
My game of the week is a rematch of the AFC divisional round. That is the Chiefs and the Browns. These are two teams. Obviously, the Chiefs, high-powered offense. I could list off 2 players, and they're already better than the entire Browns offense right there. It's just stacked on offense. And they retool their offensive line. They're like, hey, Mahomes, you need all line? We got you. Hey, do you need a defense? We'll get back to you on that, but we got you in a line. But just like the AFC divisional round, and just like here, it's week 1. I think the Browns have an offense that can compete with the Chiefs, and the defense can hold up, but it's still the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs winning this one 24-20 in a very good game. And even though I have the Browns losing, I still think the Browns are going to be a very good team this year, which is something I never thought I'd say in my lifetime.
We move on to our upset picks of the week. A team or a game that we think is going to be an upset, not the team that you think is going to win. And I am starting with the Washington football team going up against the Los Angeles Chargers this week. And I think it's pretty obvious who the upset would be. I have the Washington football team winning this game over the Chargers 31-17. Here's why. The reason, so Fitzpatrick is not going to be the answer for Washington throughout the entire season. We all kind of know that. But for whatever reason, Fitzpatrick always has this act for the first couple weeks of the season throwing for 300 yards a game and 4 touchdowns and something like that. Just something obscure to where we're all like Fitzmagic. Yeah, exactly. I think we're going to see Fitzmagic week 1 be a very good Los Angeles Chargers team. This is a team that both me and Ben had in the playoffs in our preseason predictions, and a team that I think is on a very good rise with Justin Herbert. But I do believe that the Fitzmagic, we'll call it, will end by week 3 or 4, and they're going to have to find something on offense to keep that steam going and to help their defense out, because I know the phrase goes defense wins championships, but if you have no offense at all, you're not winning a championship. I don't really think defense can win it altogether. But I do think Washington scares a lot of teams, especially in the NFC East, with their defense and with their defensive performance in week 1.
All right, so my upset pick is going to be one that I don't take pride in, because I personally don't care for either of these teams, but if I can at least see one of them lose, I'll be happy. I like them to tie, but I have the Saints not in New Orleans, because obviously with the hurricane, they are in Jacksonville, which I found very petty, because they picked Jacksonville because it was the most expensive for Packers or Packers fans. So I was like,
That's
you know what?
Funny. That's just
honestly
funny.
As much as I hate the Saints as a Falcons fan, that was one of those where I was like, I applaud. You know what? At least you can be petty just like me. So
That's
because of that, and because I just want to see Packers fans suffer in any way, shape, or form, I have the Saints winning this one, 28-24. Again, I think this is going to be a close game. I'm not saying I believe in Jameis, because I really don't, but I do think that this is one of those week 1 trap games where, of course the Packers will win. The Saints don't have Michael Thomas, which I don't think is a big deal, because as long as you have Sean Payton and at least a good player, aka Alvin Kamara, I think it'll be fine. So once again, I have the Saints upsetting the Packers in Jacksonville. Overall, weird sentence to say, but you know what? We're going to go with it.
The Giants play the Denver Broncos in week 1, and that could not be a better matchup for the Giants, meaning that is such a winnable game. I mean, I do have the Giants winning this one 23-17 over the Denver Broncos. Denver, so I was thinking about what I wanted to say about this game, and I could sit here and talk about the Giants and about how I do think that the only question mark on their team is Daniel Jones, and it really all just comes down to him this season and blah, 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 blah. I talk about that all season. I'm probably going to continue talking about that all season. I'm just going to talk about Denver for week 1 for this one. Denver, and I'm going to compare them to the Giants a little bit. Denver is at that stage where I think the Giants were about 3 or 4 years ago, where I don't think Denver quite knows that they suck yet, and they need to start rebuilding. I think they're still in that stage where they're like, we can still do this. We're still contenders every year. We still got Von Miller. We still, Drew Lock is our guy. Teddy Bridgewater is our guy. It's...
Who is their guy? Well, they did think they were going to get Aaron Rodgers, so maybe he'll come back.
And if they get Aaron Rodgers, yeah, maybe it flips to a contender. Maybe that's their overall plan. But right now, you need to start moving on from some of these veteran players that won you a Super Bowl a couple years ago, because you're in a division with the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Chargers, two teams that I think are going to be in the playoffs for the next couple of years to come. This year is going to be a rough year for Denver. I think they're going to be one of the top 5 picks in the draft. And I love it for the Giants because you get to start off 1-0 as long as you don't blow it. Please don't blow this game. For the love of God, if the Giants lose this game, we're going 4-13. Like, it's happening.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Nah. If we lose this game, the season's over. Playing Philly. Battle of the Birds.
Battle of the Dead Birds, honestly.
That's fair. I like it. I love to hear that.
I am picking Atlanta. I'm always gonna have confidence in Atlanta can win. I don't know if I expressed this to you, but I think Atlanta in their first 4 games could realistically go 3-1. They're only gonna lose to Tampa because they play Philly, Tampa, the Giants, and Washington. They could beat 3 of those teams. They could also go 0-4. That is Atlanta in a nutshell. Like, they're not beating Tampa. Spoiler for next week.
They're not beating Giants.
Oh, God. But I do have them beating Philly 21-17, only because even though Philly has a very good defensive line and Atlanta has a suspect O-line, they have no secondary. I mean, neither does Atlanta, but at least Atlanta has arguably 2 good number 1 type targets in Kyle Pitts and definitely a number 1 in Calvin Ridley, who just went off last year. But I could also see Atlanta losing by like 40 because their defense can't stop anyone.
All right, so the last game that we will be picking for the week is just a wild card game, a game that we wanted to talk about. And I feel like one of us had to at least bring up the game that is happening tonight for you guys watching. Tonight, the Bucs and the Cowboys opening kickoff of the NFL. Now, this is funny. Every time me and Ben play Madden, we have done probably 3 franchises since Madden 22 has started.
Yeah.
3 or 4 franchises since Madden 22 has started. Neither of us have picked like the Bucs or the Cowboys as our team, so that game gets simulated every single time we play it. Every time the Cowboys have won that game. I don't know what Madden is like smoking over there in the EA headquarters, but every 4 for 4 or 3 for 3, either one, the Cowboys have beaten the Buccaneers. I'm not picking that. I'm not buying that bullshit. I'm not buying that as like some sort of magical sign or some shit. The Bucs are winning this game 38-20. And the only thing that I can hope for is that all of the confidence that the Cowboys have just gets absolutely shit on in week 1 and they just never recover from it.
My wild card is going to be the Sunday night game, which I'm excited for. It's going to be very defensive, but, you know, sometimes you got to have a good defensive game. I have the Rams and the Bears, 2 top defenses. And I have, honestly, even if Justin Fields was going to start, I was still going to pick the Rams in this one. I have the Rams winning this one 23-20. I think Fields might have made it closer. Well, I mean, closer than 3 points, I guess. I don't know, maybe more of a shootout. But I think the Bears are smart in not having Justin Fields be the hit dummy for Aaron Donald. Yeah, I still got the Rams in this one. I think Fields will start pretty soon. I think that's the plan, but I think the Bears are also smart in protecting their investment and not say, hey, you want to go against, you know, arguably the best defensive player of your generation? No? Perfect. Andy Dalton, you're the hit stick now. You're the punching bag.
All right, so like I said, we do pick every single game, but we're just not going to talk about every single game. But real quick, I'm going to flash on the screen all of the picks that we did not talk about. If you want to pause real quick and find your favorite team and see what we said about them, there it is. Those will all count as probably a point. We haven't quite figured out the point system yet, but we'll have that figured out by week 1, and we'll let you know what the score is in week 2. As far as the other picks go, these are all the picks that we just didn't talk about, but we did go ahead and give a prediction for them. The last thing for Nick's picks week 1 is the 2-point conversion. And I am starting with who I said was going to be the MVP in the preseason video, Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. I think he's going to have an MVP start to his, hopefully, MVP season and have at least 350 yards passing the ball. against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I do think Pittsburgh is on the decline. I think Ben Roethlisberger is probably in his last season. So this is one of those games where you show out and you show that you are ready for this next level of your career, winning an MVP, making it hopefully to the Super Bowl, and leading Buffalo to something greater than they've seen in their history. So I do think Josh Allen has his first big MVP caliber performance this season in week 1 and puts his name on the ballot very early. And I don't think he takes his name off the ballot all season. I think that's just I do think Josh Allen is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I think he still has a lot to prove, obviously. But I figured if I went as far as to predict him for the MVP in the preseason, I can give him my 2-point conversion in week 1. So, Ben, your 2-point conversion for week 1.
I should almost went MVP with mine with Mahomes, but I didn't. I'm going with between the Panthers and the Jets, and that is Christian McCaffrey, CMC, coming back, even though it's against the Jets, and he might be limited. Doesn't matter to me because I think he's going to show why, even though I don't think he's the number 1 running back anymore, I think that's now Derrick Henry, but I do think McCaffrey is a solid number 2. You could argue other ones, but I think McCaffrey shows out all his talent like we've seen it before, and he has not only 100 yards rushing, he not only has 100+ yards receiving, but he also has 2 touchdowns minimum. I think he could probably have more because it is the Jets, but I think I'm playing it safe week 1 a little bit. I have some crazier ones. I looked at some of the other games. I have some crazier ones that I have lined up that I think you're going to probably eventually walk out on just thinking that I'm absolutely insane, but
I can't wait. I'm ready for the headphone toss, the mic. I'm done. So guys, I do hope you enjoyed this new segment, or not this new segment, but this new format of Nick's Picks. I hope you enjoyed hopefully the shorterness of it, if that's even a word. And I, again, like always, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel for more content. Nick's Picks is the only consistent thing on this channel, but someday that'll change. But like I said, hope you enjoyed. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy week 1. The NFL is back, and I can't wait. So have a great one. Peace. You didn't say bye.
What do you want me to?
That's your thing.
I gotta mix things up.
Do it.
Okay, fine.
Say something.
Cal Pitts Rookie of the Year.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot to say, Ben, is there anything you want to say before we head out? Wow. Season 2 is off to a great start.